from faith and trust to blasphemous sarcasm in the very blink of an eye. That's what happens in our Parsha. Uparo Hikriv. The Egyptians are gaining on the Jews, the Jewish people standing on the very foot of Yom Suf, crying out to Hashem. And they see that while the Egyptians are advancing on them by Yiru Ma'od, and they become very overwhelmed with fear of what's going to happen, Pharaoh will now take his revenge out upon us. Vayitzaku b'nei Yisrael el Hashem, and the Jewish people, they cry out to God. Zok, the holy Rashi. What does it mean that they cried out? Tofsu umnis avosam. They grabbed on to the very same entrepreneurial business endeavor and occupation that our forefathers grabbed onto when they were in trouble. The umnis, the occupation of prayer. Hashem, save me, save us. We have nowhere else to turn. But then in Pasuk Yud Aleph, kind of like a changing of the guard in a millisecond. Moses, you took us out here to die. Were there not enough graves in Egypt that you had to find more graves out here in the wilderness? Blasphemous sarcasm. That's what we see from the Dar Dea. How do we make sense of this from the holiest generation? The Ramban asks the question, and he tells us a scary aside. Remember it for life. Based on the Mechilta, the Medrash, you'll find it here. It's at the very bottom of the Rambans. He brings a couple explanations. He tells us that they trusted and they prayed. And they trusted and they prayed. But after they prayed, they saw that Pharaoh is no seah v'karav aleim. Their tefillos were not answered. Things were getting worse. The couple was not happily married. They weren't staying happily married. You keep davening, it's not working. The person isn't becoming expecting. The shidduch is not coming to fruition. It's not working. Az omru. As Pharaoh got closer and the stress became worse, they said to themselves, Lo neskabla tfilasenu. Our prayers must not have been accepted. They had bad thoughts, second thoughts. They wanted to reanalyze the entire topic that they already had clear. Moshe to go back, and maybe Moses can't be trusted. Maybe he just wanted to have more graves out here. There wasn't enough in Egypt. They had the problem of second thoughts, of doubting a process that they already understood was the right way to go. The umnus that the Jewish people have to solve their problems, and let there be no stuttering or doubt about it, is prayer and will always be prayer. That is what we inherited from our great billionaire grandfathers, the umnus of tefillah. But after one vayitzaku, a crying out of prayer, and immediately that they didn't see the divine salvation, without seeing any new information except for just a little bit more anxiety, they threw prayer away and began the blasphemous sarcasm. The answer to how someone deals with their problems, the Ramban tells us, is not to go about it with sakira, which means second thoughts, and maybe I was wrong. The answer is always prayer. And it's then trust and faith and more prayer. Kaveh el Hashem v'chazak v'yametz libech, and then daven again, v'kaveh el Hashem. And only if we would have waited just one more pasuk and remained trustworthy and would have kept our belief up high, the very next pasuk is, everybody hush. Because Hashem yilachem lachem v'atem tacharishun. Get your popcorn, watch the show, and hush, hush, tacharishun, being quiet. Because otherwise you will miss the great annihilation as the waters split for the Jewish people. Pray, trust your gut, follow what you know is the billion-dollar inheritance that you have inherited from your great-grandparents Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And if you don't get an immediate answer, don't throw it all away and become blasphemous and sarcastic. But rather trust, wait, pray again, and then hush and watch the magic all happen.